Hey, Darth Hotdog, I'm here with you. KBLY, KBLY Radio. This is Deacon and the Rock and Rollers. All right, I'll keep it a little lower for you. We're gonna do something different today. Nice volume. On today's show, we're gonna do the top 25 psychobilly 45's. That's one of these. This is actually Deacon and the Rock and Rollers. This is the original. I don't know if you can see it on Nauvoo record label from the 50s. Pretty awesome. Anyways, we're going to do the top 25 psychobilly 45's of all time. My favorite. These are not all of them are going to be psychobilly. Some of them are just going to be rockabilly, silly billy, you know, just the ones that influenced the scene before it was psychobilly as it blossomed into the psychobilly scene. But these are my favorite, what I think are the best psychobilly 45's of all time. The first one that I'm going to show you is definitely not a psychobilly band, but they were one of the first bands to use an upright bass over there in England. And it's not Matchbox. It's not any of those Teddy Boy bands who didn't use the upright bass. And they used the upright bass before the Polecats. It's the Rhythm Cats. The Rhythm Cats from 1979. Two of the guys, the guitar player, Pete Davenport, and the bass player Anders Janes. They went on to start the Stargazers, the Bill Haley sounded like band, and then Ricky Lee Braun, the drummer, and Anders went on to do the Big Six too, which I saw live once at the Derby in the mid '90s when the Rhythm Cats did really good rockabilly, Sun Record style, steel guitar, good rockabilly. First band to use an upright bass over in England. It actually sounded good. Polecats took their drummer too, Neil, and got him to play drums for them on their first Polecats Are Go album. So number 25, I have to put the Rhythm Cats on there because they're, to me, a big impact on what would become the psychobilly scene. Number 24 is going to be an American band, Gravediggers. Gravediggers right here from Orange County, in Tustin, I think Tustin area. Came out in 1985. This is the best American psychobilly 45 recordings I've ever heard. I not too many American psychobilly bands that I like. Over there in the Southern California area in the 2000s, there's some bands that were pretty good. My favorite was the Fossils, Adams band. I thought they were the best that I heard. But some of those bands are okay. The Grims and the Daffies and the Curs and the Riff Raffs, they're okay. But the Fossils are my favorite. But this is the best American psychobilly band I've ever heard right here. And they did two 50s covers. They did a Jack Earl song, Let's Bop, right? And then Joe Clay's You Look That Good to Me, the one with two drummers. Awesome rockabilly songs. Then they wrote two songs, Neon Lights and what was the other one? Insane, that first song. Really, really cool. But yeah, the bass player would go on to play with Big Sandy and do the Big Sandy thing. Everyone knows who they are, obviously. But before he did Big Sandy, I'm thirsty. Sorry, guys. He did the Gravediggers. They made a record too, but they re-recorded the stuff. Not all the stuff. The Insane song. They re-recorded that song. It sounds a little bit more garagey. This is 100% psychobilly. So cool. You can find this 45. Anybody who's into psychobilly and you like American stuff, this is it. This is the best one. All right, the dogs are out there barking. Number 23 is the first band from Finland to play what would become psychobilly. It's from 1985. They wrote all their own songs. They did a Rick Carty cover, Born to Love One Woman. But the other song is really cool sound, upbeat, 80s style rockabilly. Definitely would become part of that psychobilly sound. The first French band to play psychobilly, Wampus. This is actually in French. This is from 1985. Super cool. I love the sound of this record. Every song's good. The Dracubop's on one of the Psycho Attack Over Europe compilation album. I think the first one, yeah, from '85. Sonny Domestos, one of the first German psychobilly bands, right? Number 21. These are all cover songs they recorded in 1987. They did a cover song of The Witch, the Sonics. You guys know that band, the Sonics, from Washington, 60s garage rock and roll band? Not really. They're okay. I have one record of theirs, like some of their early 60s, 61-ish probably recordings. But they did The Witch. It's cool cover version. They did a Billy Fury was a British rock and roller in the 50s. They did a cover of one of his songs, Gonna Type Me a Letter. And they did a Sun Records, one of the black R&B guys. Sun Records first started recording black guys in the earlier 50s, mid 50s, before Elvis. And they recorded a guy named Rufus Thomas, I believe. Yeah, Rufus Thomas did a song called Tiger Man, and that's the song they covered on here. Really cool choice. He also did a song called Bear Cat, which was kind of like Hound Dog, except for You Ain't Nothing But a Bear Cat. And he had another song called Rolling Stones did it. What's Walking the Dog, Silver buttons up and down her back. You guys might know that song. So that's a cool pick, the do Tiger Man. And they did a special song, which is a good special song, Dawning of a New Era. So Billy Fury, the Sonics, Rufus Thomas on Sun Records in the mid-50s, and the Specials by Sonny Domestos, which were definitely one of the first German psychobilly bands. So that's really cool. The next one is another German band, but this one came out a little later in 1988. These guys are called the Magnetics. This is my number 20 pick. It's hard to find. If you find this record, definitely get it. It's really, really, really good. So Magnetics. I think they have a record too. I have that, but it's not as good as their original 45 from 87, 88-ish. Okay. Another one of the first German psychobilly bands, or rockabilly bands, but with that modern edge. And they had a song called The Fly that's awesome. It's 100% a psychobilly song, but they were embraced by the psychobilly scene in the mid late 80s, I guess. This was their first release in 1985, Dope Rider, which is was it Dope Rider? Oh, my reader. Where are my readers at, guys? Hold on, I can't see shit. This is my number 19 pick. And Talking About You is a good song. Saddle Soap, yeah, Saddle Soap, which is on their first record. I have it hanging on the wall over there. You probably can't see it, but I love the Roughnecks. I started listening to them in high school. I had a recording of their Stop, Look, and Listen album, which I didn't know it was called that, but I had a recording of that on cassette tape, and I loved it. Didn't know who that band was until like maybe 15 years ago. I finally found out who maybe 20, I don't know, but yeah, I was listening to them back in the early 90s on a cassette tape. I love the Roughnecks. Really cool sound. Tranquilizers, number 18. Dutch band, same time as Batmobile, 1985. They had a song called Paranoia, which was on and the Born to or Destroyed Illusions. Destroy Illusions and Paranoia, they wrote those songs. Both killer songs. They were on the Psycho Attack Over Europe compilation album. Then they did two 50s covers. They did a Rick Carty song, Born to Love One Woman. Actually, they did it in 1985. The other band, what was it? Not the Magnetics, the String Beans from Finland. They covered the same Rick Carty song, which is probably a bad pick on there. I don't know if they got the idea from them or just happened to both like Rick Carty, but it's a killer song, and they both did it good. And they also did Johnny Powers' Long Blonde Hair. So number 18, Tranquilizers. All right, number 17, Long Tall Texans, first 45 with the Get Back Wet Back from their second album. And they also did another song on here called Something's Cooking, which I prefer. I love that song. They had a 12-inch too, which did the same thing, which had another song on it. But their second record is really good. Probably, I like the first record a lot. I have that, but second record might be a little bit better. But yeah, that's their first 45. Cool art. Very unique band, Long Tall Texans. Came out in the mid-80s. Yeah, they had their debut on a Nervous comp, right? Yeah, they were good. Rachi and the Sarnos. My friend Steve Young, one of his favorite bands. These guys were really unique. You know, the Phantom guy who did Love Me. Guy wore the Lone Ranger mask like him. Really, these guys were just really unique. Covered some cool 50 songs, all Come On Baby, and wrote really funny songs. A lot of humor. Silly Billy, Rachi and the Sardines from 1985. Awesome. The Rattlers, one of the first rockabilly bands to stand up drum. Yeah, just have a blast, and they influenced Batmobile for sure. This is their first little EP. Made every record they made though. This came out in 1984, and yeah, the first record's good. Second record's even better. But the records they made then later in the 80s and even into the 90s are still good. I thought this was a great band. Upright bass player does all the singing. Yeah. Really cool. So you get this 45. It's got a really good instrumental on it. They do a version of Little Red Riding Hood, which I'm sure they got the idea from the Meat Eaters, but really cool rockabilly, fun rockabilly for sure. Restless, a couple of their first songs that they recorded with the upright bass. 1981, Long Winding River, Leaving This Town. This also has Ghost Town on it. So 1981, Restless. That's my number 14 pick. Number 14, best psychobilly 45s of all time, guys. The Deltas. Stand up on the drum kit, bang the shit out of them, sing, go crazy. With Pat playing lead guitar, who started doing his thing with Paul Finnick, right? For Raw Deal. You guys don't know what Raw Deal is. Raw Deal was the Meat Eaters before it became the Meat Eaters, which was Nigel and Paul, but the drummer was just a rockabilly guy from the Teddy Boy scene over there and played with the Flying Saucers. He went on to join a Bill Haley sound-alike band called the Dynamite Band, actually. And the Pat, the guitar player, he probably played rhythm. You know, I'm sure Paul got all the leads, but Paul, this was definitely Paul and Nigel's incarnation, the Raw Deal, and they split. I'm not sure if Pat, I don't know, he just wasn't into he kind of wanted to get more into the blues, rocking the blues, I guess, and did the Deltas thing. Deltas, fun rockabilly mixed with blues. Their first 45, Nervous Records, second or third release from Nervous, huh? 1981, Spellbound and Heart Attack. Different release than the album, but you can get the 45. Get it. It's awesome. One of my favorites. Frenzy. This is an original. Frenzy has to be on. This is number 12, guys, from 1984. The original Frenzy with Simon Brand on guitar. Robot Riot and Cry or Die. Two awesome songs. The 45 of the original is a little different. Has different artwork. Has 3 songs on it, but I've never been able to find it. It's really rare. If anybody has it, wants to sell it to me for a good price, or just donate to me, man, I'll pay you money for whoever has it for sure. I'd love to have it. I've never found it, so I was excited when they released this. So I have to put it on there, even though it's original, because Frenzy in the mid '80s was a unique band that added a lot to the psychobilly scene. Cry or Die, Robot Riot with Simon Brand from Torment. Went on to join Torment, start Torment. All right, now we get into number 11, getting close to the top 10. The Guanabats, definitely got to get up there on the list. One of the first of the psychobilly bands. Both both Stewart, the guitar player, and Pip were going to Meat Eater shows and fell in love with the sound. There would be no Guanabats if it wasn't for the Meat Eaters, for sure. Pip Stevens said that. I saw him in an interview. And yeah, they were there at the Meat Eater shows in the beginning, and they loved King Kurt. They loved the fun, wearing dresses to shows and getting in for free, and yeah, just the whole King Kurt attitude of idea of having a show mixed with the Meat Eaters, and you got the Guanabats. Put some shorts on, get wet, get dirty, get silly. King Kurt meets the Meat Eaters equals Guanabats. Awesome band. Got to have Stewart on guitar. It's his band, Stewart and Pip. I've seen the Guanabats with Stewart. I was lucky enough. They played in America many times. Saw them first at the Doll Hut with just Pip in the 90s, and it's cool seeing Pip do his thing. But I got to see him that one time up in LA, and Stewart was playing guitar, and that was really cool. But I love the Guanabats. Just like all these bands, have been really cool to see the Guanabats in 84 and 85, 86 have been really cool. But the Griswold's first EP on Raucous Records when it's first starting out, 1987. This is number 10. Top 10, guys. Top 10. Let me do a drum roll here. Do I have some sticks? I can't play drums. I need some sticks. Top 10, top 10, top 10. Griswolds, number 10. Gary Griswold, The Hucklebuck, an old R&B song. Do the Hucklebuck. My favorite version was from Roy Milton. The rest of the songs, Sweeney Todd, The Barber, Crybaby Blues, Robbie the Robot. This came out before their Cool Nervous record. They had a couple songs and compilations, but this band's awesome. Very, very fun, very silly. Coming out in the late 80s when psychobilly was getting a little harder. They kept it fun. The next band, same time frame, kept it fun and silly, late 80s. Surf and Wombats. Got to see them the first time they came over to California and played at the Airliner. Became friends of Steve Young. He's awesome. Great guy, great band. This was their first 45. I think they might have did a little breakup after this. Someone might have had a kid or something. I'll have to ask Steve what happened. I've never noticed. I was checking this out, and it says the name of the album, Dr. Satan. What is it? From the forthcoming LP of Dr. Satan's House of Terror, which they re-released that album like what? I think after or before the Airliner show. It was like when was that? 10 years ago? I can't remember. 2017-ish. I don't know the time, but this came out in 1990, so they had that album all ready to go because the songs, "She's Dynamite," which is one of my very favorites, and the Peter Cushing they re-recorded, right? These versions are probably a little cooler because they're young, but they're still good. They actually still can play psychobilly pretty good still. For most bands can't. They still do a good job of it. So, number 9, 10 Griswolds. Number 9, Surf and Wombats. She's Dynamite, Peter Cushing, and what from Beyond or something like that. I don't know. There's a third song on there too, which is still good. Good 45. Number 8, Fireball XL5, the fun rockabilly band. Funny Billy. Fun rockabilly for sure. These guys, Mark Kelf still doing his thing with, this guy loves the 50s. He loves hillbilly stuff, honky tonk, hillbilly boogie, 50s rockabilly. These guys just play it really good. But back in the early 80s when this came out in 1983, and through the mid 80s, that they did their thing and they played rockabilly with a lot of fun. So never seen them live, but I enjoy listening to their records, and I definitely think they deserve to be one of the top 25 psychobilly 45s of all time. From 1983, Fireball XL5, named after the puppet show. Another band that's not psychobilly, but everyone knows the Polecats. 1981, when they first started their major label scene. Oh, they're getting old now. I think they started this band in the mid 70s. The little singer, Tim, was like 12 years old. The guitar player was like 13. I think, they're both probably like 13. He was 12. This is the guy from the Rhythm Cats. He wasn't in the band, but through the mid 70s all the way to 1979, they were like Teddy Boy band, but they were kids. How cool is it that they loved all that music back then? But so what? 81, they're what, like 17, 18, 19 maybe at the most when they made this. So Mary Celeste though is definitely had that Meat Eaters influence. Very ghost sounding, about the ghost ship, right? I didn't know it was a ghost ship until I did some research on it 20 some years ago. When I first heard that song, and when I was in high school, I was hooked. I had their Argo album. And this is a good 45 though. It has the T-Rex cover, which I don't like T-Rex, but I like their cover of it, and I love Mary Celeste. So number 7, I put the Polecats on the top 25 psychobilly 45s of all time. Polecats, number 7. It's got to be there. So number 6, about these guys, Polecats sound never would have changed. I don't think. Maybe, I mean, hard to say, but these guys were opening for the Polecats, right? In 1980 with Raw Deal. 1979, I mean, they were opening for them, and I'm sure the Polecats were blown away by the Meat Eaters. A lot of rockabillys did not like these guys. And they just played rockabilly guys in 1980, 1981, even in 82. probably around that time is when people started saying, hey, this is psychobilly, maybe. I don't know. I know on the Meteor Madness the word was mentioned, but it was, Paul liked to call himself just a rockabilly band back then that just sang about monsters and horror and insane people and people that are going to break in the middle of the night and rip your heart out, I guess. And B movies, awesome. This is the Graveyard Stomp, one of the first Meat Eater songs I ever heard with the Radioactive Kid. So that's the Nigel Lewis song. I like Nigel, but I always like the Paul Finnick stuff better personally. But that's just my opinion. I like Nigel too, but Paul Finnick is the Meat Eaters. So number 6, Graveyard Stomp. Number 5, the Stingrays. This isn't an original, but I have to put them on there. This has Dinosaurs from the Blood on the Cats album. Awesome band. Used an upright bass, played really crazy, mixing garage and psychedelic and the Cramps and a little bit of the Meat Eaters mixed in. But they didn't sing about the same stuff as the Meat Eaters. They were different. You know, they played with a lot of energy and definitely a big influence on bands like Frenzy and Schizo. And they definitely deserve to be high up on the list. From 1983, the Stingrays, Dinosaurs. Another band that's not really a psychobilly band, but the psychobillies love going to their shows, and they've changed the map of psychobilly for sure because their shows are so damn good. I don't know what you want to call King Kurt. They're just probably the best live band ever. I got to see them live. Oh, actually, look, I saw them in Hollywood. Whoever was at the show, I never wear it, but look, I went to that show and I bought. They had shitty shirts. I bought one. I don't like it with the hot rod, but I love King Kurt. I have an original 80s King Kurt t-shirt hanging up there. See it? Found that. I would have loved to see King Kurt back in the 83, 84. That would have been so much fun. This is their first single. It was on a bunch of different colors from 1982. The Rockin' Kurt, Zulu Beat. Awesome. King Kurt. Number 4. Number 3, when you take the Meat Eaters and King Kurt and mix them together, you get the Guanabats. And this is their first single. Came after the EP. I love this. The Werewolf Blues is awesome. It's one of that and the Cannibal Run were one of the first. I heard the live at Clubfoot stuff too, but those are the first 2 songs that really sucked me into the Guanabats, the Werewolf Blues and the Cannibal Run, along with the Devil's Guitar and the live songs they did. But number 3, original copy of the Guanabats, The Cave. My very favorite psychobilly band has to be on the list. The Frantic Flintstones' first release on the brand new Raucous Records label, 1987. There it is. Got to put that on there. And then number 1, guys, it's got to be the Meat Eaters, Meteor Madness. Those are the top 25 psychobilly 45's of all time, in my opinion. But that show went a little longer than I wanted it to. The music ended. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or you have any comments about psychobilly in general, we'll keep shows coming. We'll play a lot more music in the future, but those are my top 25 psychobilly 45's of all time. So enjoy yourselves. Darth Hotdog. Have a good night, guys.